office? Terrible, I could hardly keep my eyes open.
Neither could I. I had a little nap after lunch.
Well, it's all right for some.
Poor darling.
Well, I did manage to grab a little spot of nod, actually, sitting up in my chair, but all the chance old Dixon might poke his ugly nose in, so I had to try and doze with the phone clamped to my ear hole.
I'm comfy.
Not only that, darling, the dining tone keeps you awake.
Glad we're not going out tonight, aren't you?
Oh, so am I. I don't know how people like Miles stand the pace. He never stops.
Well, he's got nothing to stay in for, has he?
Exactly.
What you doing?
Nothing, darling.
I'm not surprised we're both tired. We've been out 3 times in 6 days.
I know, they always come in bunches, don't they? And when you're screaming for the phone to ring, it never happens.
Screaming for the phone to ring? You mean when it's just the 2 of us?
Of course not.
And I'm making you a lovely supper. What's that?
Shh. Listen.
People in love.
Oh, darling. Oh, it's my favorite.
Don't need home. People in love.
I knew you liked
to
What about you? You never stop playing it at Wendy's. Darling, it's the most extraordinary thing you buying this record because it was exactly how I felt today, about us. It was like a wave. It was in Mr. Harris's. I went in to see him about the new waste pipe and I suddenly thought, it's just the 2 of us tonight. How wonderful. And I went straight in the butcher's and bought a chicken.
Did you, darling?
And I'm doing it a new French way. Garlic and onions and white wine.
I had a wave, too.
What?
A wave.
Today?
Yes. It hit me right in the middle of Holloway Road. A sort of happy feeling, you know. As though we had something to celebrate tonight, and I knew we hadn't. Well, I thought we hadn't. I didn't know about your French chicken then. I was quite prepared for fish fingers. Then I was, you know, I remember that record we heard at Wendy's party last night, and I went in and bought it.
Thank you, darling. It shan't be long.
Oh, don't hurry, darling. I ate so much at Wendy's, I still feel bloated.
Oh, did you ring Wendy?
Oh, no, darling, you do it.
Oh, please, George, it is your turn.
Oh, all right, then.
You know how much it means to us if people ring us after a party?
Yeah, I know. You know, Kate, I was thinking today...
What?
Kate, come here.
What?
I was thinking, you know, we used to move heaven and earth in the old days to be together before we were married, didn't we? You know, just 2 of us on our own. When you get married, you take it for granted.
Never again.
No, not me. Hello, Wendy. Oh, George. What? I won't keep you long. I'll just say thanks for last night. Marvellous party. I still feel bloated. The noise in my head drowned the underground this morning. Yeah. Well, sooner you than me. OK, I'll turn next then. Yeah, see you. Bye.
You didn't say you'd bought their record.
Yeah, well, just, you know, dashing off out, darling.
Another late night?
Well, a party.
Good Lord.
I said to her, sooner you than me. Yeah, party at Tom and Jones.
Tom and Joe Peters?
Yeah, when did we see them last? When we went to the pictures and they all come back here for drinks, didn't they? No, it was when they came to our party, wasn't it? Shall I play the record again, darling?
Why haven't they asked us?
What?
They haven't asked us, have they?
Who, darling?
Tom and Joan.
But you said you didn't want to go out tonight.
I don't.
So he wouldn't have gone anyway.
Well, they might have asked us. They owe us. They've been to us since we went to them.
I know, darling.
Twice.
Oh, not really twice, darling. One was just a drink after the pictures.
A drink? Joan could hardly stand.
Yes, but Kate... Kate, how can you be so illogical?
What?
You can't be delighted about being able to stay in and be furious about not being able to go out at the same time.
Well, it's not illogical to want to know why they've deliberately snubbed us.
Oh, Kate.
Well, we'll certainly never be asked here again, anyway.
All right, so they're ruined socially. Let's forget about it, shall we? Hey, how's the food coming on? Oh, it smells lovely. Darling, your cooking's really coming on the face, isn't it?
I feel like a party tonight.
You said you were tired.
Tired? I shan't sleep again till I get to the bottom of this. And I simply can't believe that you don't mind being insulted.
I don't feel insulted, darling.
Well, I do, and if you had any sense of gallantry at all, George, you'd do something about it.
What?
What?
Do what about it? Challenge Tom to a duel or something? Darling, you know perfectly well that if you had been insulted, I would do something about it, don't you? Like at Ozzy's engagement party when Tony Allen made a pass at you. I spoke to him, didn't I?
Next day?
Yes.
On the phone?
But I had to go to work. I'm not St. George Starling, you know. I've other things to do than search for your imaginary dragon.
It's not
No, I don't mean this one's imaginary. I just don't think it's as big a dragon as you do, that's all. Come on, relax. Forget all about it. Put your feet up. Let's enjoy our record. You know you like this one. My darling. Smashing. Just you and me.
People in love don't need people. People in love don't need home. People in love like to stand hand in hand.
Let's throw our own.
What?
Let's throw our own party. Wait till Tom and Joan find out we haven't invited them.
Oh, darling, it's not quite the party spirit, is it? I'm absolutely exhausted. It wasn't much of a rest on the phone, and I haven't got any money left. I spent all I had on that record.
Or we make it a bottle party, and I think I could stretch the chicken to a big risotto if I did absolutely tons of rice.
You said you wanted a quiet night.
Yes, we'll have a quiet night another night. Now, who can we ask? Miles? Get him to bring his latest. And Peter and Nora, I'll go and ask them now. And John and David, we haven't seen them lately, have we? Get ringing, darling.
So they're alone, they won't.
Oh, hello, Kate.
Hello, Peter. George and I got the party bag just lately.
Hello, Miles. Oh, Kate and I have got the party bag lately. We wondered, you know, if you'd like to come over. We're having a little party tonight. Bring a bottle, will you? Because Kate's cooking... Oh. Oh, well, never mind. Just too bad, isn't it? Oh, I'll see you then. Yeah, cheers. Miles is going to Tom and Joan's party.
So are Peter and Nora.
They're not.
They are. They're just leaving.
Why weren't we asked?
Oh, George!
They owe us.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Well, they've been here for the last time, I can tell you that.
Who are you ringing?
David, I've never been so insulted in my life. Well, we'll soon settle their tiny little hash. We'll throw a party here tonight that'll knock theirs into a cop. Hello, David. Oh, hello, John. This is George. No, don't worry. No, I wanted to speak to both of you. Look, Kate and I are throwing a little party tonight. We wondered if you and David, you know, and whatever birds you're currently... Oh. Oh, no. It's our fault for leaving you so late, yes. Well, I'll see you at the pub sometime. Bye.
They're not going to Tom and Joan's.
And they're birds.
But we introduced them to Tom and Joan.
Of course we introduced them. Tom and Joan didn't know a living soul on earth till they met us.
I've never liked them.
What?
I wish I'd told you before.
Well, so do I. I only put up with them because I thought you liked Joan.
You mean you didn't like Tom?
Like Tom, that pimply, toppy-nosed communist? Oh, hello? Could I speak to Ozzy, please? Oswald Thomas. Yeah, thank you. You liked him and Ethel, didn't you?
Yes, I just hope Tom and Joan don't like them too.
Oh, darling, they don't even know Tom and Joan. Matter of fact, I think they rather appreciate being asked around, you know, when they're getting married soon and all that. Oh, hello, Ozzy. Ozzy, George. Yeah, grab Ethel to the bottle. We're having a party tonight. Don't eat first, whatever you do, because Kate's cooking... You don't know Tom and Joan. Nothing. I'll see you. Ethel's away. Tom's going with Miles.
Now who are you ringing?
Stephen and Jenny. Stephen and Jenny have never been asked out anywhere in their lives. Nobody can stand the sight of them. And they've never heard of Tom and Joan, and Tom and Joan have never heard of Stephen and Jenny.
Somebody must have introduced them. George, what have we done?
I don't know.
I suppose...
What?
Well, we've been out a lot lately. Perhaps they thought we'd been asked somewhere else. No.
Yes.
Do you think that's what they thought?
No, you're not far out. I know what's happened. They've heard that we've been out a lot lately, so they left us out on purpose.
Because they're jealous?
Can you think of any better explanation?
No.
You see Tom's thin lips, can't you? They were practically invisible. They've been to 5 parties in the last fortnight, and we haven't been to one. Well, they're not coming to ours.
They probably threw this one specially, just so they could leave us out.
Yeah, and asked all our friends to try and prove they were their friends.
That's the way Joan would think, you know.
Well, they've failed, haven't they? They think we'd lose a moment's sleep just because we weren't asked round to their place. Oh, God.
Well, we wouldn't have gone, would we?
We wouldn't. Quite apart from the fact that we need a rest between orgies. Tom Peters falls the smallest Scottish this side of the border.
Joan's got a dirty bathroom.
Has she?
Haven't you noticed?
Well, no, I hadn't. Well, you know, we men just hop in and out, you know.
Tide mark round the bath, shaving soap all over the taps, hair in the plug hole. You know.
Ugh, how disgusting. Tom wears filthy collars, you know. I think he changes them once a week.
Then Joan washes them in the bath. That accounts for the tide mark. Oh, I am glad they didn't ask us.
So am I. I mean, they're so chippity, they'd probably take umbrage if we turned them down.
And we would have turned them down.
Flat. We need an evening alone together occasionally, don't we? Just because they can't stand to be a moment alone together. And I told you, I had this wave, you know, in the Holloway Road, like you had when you went in about the waste pipe.
So you don't mind it being just the two of us?
If you don't mind spending the evening with dreary old me.
No, you're not dreary.
I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, God, I must be, not being invited to Tom and Joan's party. The magic's still around then, is it?
You're surprised?
Well, they say it doesn't last long once you're married, don't they?
Who says?
Tom and Joan.
Has lasted, hasn't it?
3 months and never a cross word.
Never.
Well, I might have criticised you once.
And me, you.
Can you say that?
What?
And me, you. Sounds a bit oily, sir. Vaguely Chinese.
Darling, I've got a confession to make.
What?
I am vaguely Chinese.
Oh, are you really? Our children will be very attractive.
Tom and Jones will be hideous.
Poor soul. With his lips.
In her bosom.
Of course, they might have a boy.
And Jones' bosom would just about pass on a boy.
Yeah, I've often passed it on Jones.
I feel sorry for them, don't you?
Yeah.
Having to throw a party just because they're jealous of us. Serve them right if it's a flop.
Oh, it's bound to be, isn't it? His weak Scotch is in her bosom.
Shouldn't think Peter and Nora will stick it for long.
Yeah. Oh, yes, they've gone, haven't they?
Yes, why?
Nothing, I've forgotten.
Forgotten what?
That Peter and Nora were going there. They're always good company, aren't they?
You didn't want company tonight.
I know.
You're glad it was just the two of us.
No, I'm just saying that, you know, if we'd had the misfortune to have been asked, if we hadn't been too tired to go, Peter and Nora would have taken the curse off the proceedings.
And Miles.
Yes, and Miles.
And John and David and Ozzy.
Darling, what are you talking about?
You're sorry you're not there now, aren't you?
Good grief, who wanted to go first?
You see most of them all day, every day, all night. Now you want to see them all evening as well.
Oh, Kate.
We've had this out before, you know.
Let's not have it out again.
Go to the party if you want to. I'm not stopping you.
No, Tom and Joan are stopping me. I haven't been invited, remember?
But you'd go if you had been, wouldn't you?
Of course I wouldn't. I said so, hadn't I? I'm going to put my feet up and read a book for a change. Eat your nosh and have an early night.
Good, because that's what I want too.
Good.
We're lucky people, aren't we?
What?
We're doing what we want. We're lucky.
Oh, yes. It's ages since I read a book.
Well, there you are then.
Yes.
And I'll mend that tear in your dressing gown.
Oh, thank you, darling. Let's have a drink, eh?
Is there any?
I think so.
Lovely.
Yeah, I thought we had some white wine.
Oh,
What?
the chicken had it.
Oh.
Isn't there something left over from the bottle party?
Oh, yes. Sweet Burma.
Well, that's all right with soda, isn't it?
Is it?
And a bit of lemon.
Have we got any lemon?
No.
Oh, well, let us have a drop of soda, I suppose. You know, I wish your mother hadn't bought us this thing. You know, it always runs out when I'm desperate. Have we got any more of those soda bomb things?
All right, I'll go and see. What's on the other side of that record, darling? Play that.
Yeah, all right. Let's go gay.
Sorry, darling, we're out of soda bombs.
No.
Well, people drink sweet vermouth on its own, don't they?
Do they?
I think so.
Well, we haven't got any choice, have we? Cheers.
Cheers. Isn't it marvellous? Put your feet up, not that you've got to dash anywhere.
Marvellous.
Let's go gay, let's fly high, paint the town martini dry. Let's go mad, throw a ball, ring up friends and have them all call. Let's go gay, let's go mad, break the rules, that can't be bad. Let's make love, let's make hay, stop the clocks and live for the day. Let the mood be pure abandonment. We'll ignore the ethical code and indulge our every random bent, drinking endless drinks for that endless road.
What you doing?
I'm going to ring Tom.
Oh, no, George.
Supposing he invited us and we didn't get the invitation.
Well, suppose he hasn't invited us.
Well, he'll have to crack then, won't he?
Crack?
Look, if he's got a dirty great party going on at the other end of this phone and I ring him up, he'll have to ask us, won't he?
Well, I wouldn't go under those conditions.
Neither would I. But I want him to know that we know. That's what I... Tom? Oh, Tom. Yeah, George, darling. Well, you're a stranger. How are you? Good. Joan? Good. Oh, I'm fine. So she. Yeah, look, Tom. Yeah. Look, I'm sorry, Tom. There's so much noise going on the other end there. I can't hear myself. Oh, well, I was just, you know, browsing through my address book, and I suddenly realised what an age it's been since you and Joan came over here. Yeah, it was our party, wasn't it? Yeah, no, I tell a lie. No, it was after that, when we all went to the pictures and you came back here for drinks. That's right, yes. Well, Tom, how about tonight? Coming round. Oh, what a shame. Oh, we just decided to have a few friends in. You know how very often these spontaneous do's turn out to be much more fun than the ones that are planned weeks ahead. Yeah, right, well, there we are then. That's life, yes. And mine to Joan.
What did he say?
Say? He didn't say it, a shout! A noise going on there, people laughing, music, playing, glasses clinking. I'd say they'd invited the whole of Western Europe with the exception of us.
And he never mentioned it?
Never. When I said I couldn't hear him because of the noise, he simply raised his voice and said, "Is that better?"
Why didn't you ask him why?
Well, darling, what's the point? I mean, it's pretty pointless, isn't it? It's obvious. We're just poison.
What?
We're deaf. Nobody likes us. Darling, they have invited absolutely everybody of our group except us, even Ozzie Thomas, who's so shy and killing the party stone dead if you don't get him drunk in the first 5 minutes. Everybody's there. Everybody. We have studiously been ignored. There's a thundering great orgy going on there, straight out of Cleopatra. And nobody's even had the decency to notice that we're not there. But darling, don't be upset about it. What do you mean upset about it? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not my fault either. It's both of us. We can't help being a pair of crashing bores.
Bores?
Yes, bores. They say marriage does a lot of people. Kills the spark.
Well, I hadn't noticed.
Well, you wouldn't, darling. Nor would I. It's like B.O. Someone has to tell you. We've turned into a couple of dull old sticks.
But how?
I told you, darling, you were saying how it's marriage does it, darling. It makes you all introspective. We're all wrapped up in us. I mean, we don't think about other people like we used to before we knew each other, do we? So why should they bother to think about us? I mean, the marriage may seem all very splendid, you and I, but the novelty's worn off for everyone else, so they don't want to invite us round and spend the whole evening watching us gazing into each other's eyes.
We have to be very quick to catch that.
What?
Well, we may be a couple of old sticks, George, but it doesn't need a Boy Scout to get a spark out of us.
Oh, well, perhaps that's the reason why we're not asked out anymore. We're always rowing. No wonder we're never invited anywhere. People have got more consideration for their crockery.
Well, that's how you think of us, is it? Always rowing.
Good grief, you said it first.
Well, you call us crashing bores.
Can you give me another explanation why we haven't been asked out anywhere by anybody at any time that I can reasonably think of?
Hello, George.
Peter!
Kate, I thought I'd take you up on your invitation. Am I the first? Not too early, am I?
I thought you were at Tom and Jones.
Yeah, well, I was, but I didn't like the look of it. You know, practically open house. Couldn't move for people. No, nobody introduced you to anybody, so I thought to myself, right, I'm off to George and Kate's, I said. That's more my type of evening. Who else is coming? Well, it's still on your party, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah, I brought a bottle.
what do you have?
Well, you know, I feel a bit of a mug leaving the other party for nothing, wouldn't I?
Gin and vermouth or gin without vermouth?
Tonic.
Tonic? Oh, tonic. Well, I'll have to go to the off license. I didn't get a lot of stuff in, you know, in case, till I knew what people were drinking.
No. Well, who else is coming then?
Well, it's all rather in the lap of the gods, really, you know, being so last minute. We'll just have to wait and see who bangs on the old door. Cheers. Oh, sorry, where's your drink, isn't it? I don't get it right now.
Peter, where's Nora?
What? Oh, Nora, she's still at Tom and Jones. Yes, we had a bit of a row, you see, that's why I left the other party. Argued all the way there. I thought to myself, at least she'll shut up when we get in, but the noise was so great that she carried on, you see. Except she screamed instead of shouting. Well, I think I'd better go. I'll only kill your party.
You are not going anywhere, mate. You're going to sit right down on that sofa. We are delighted to see you, aren't we, darling? How's your drink? Yeah. Oh, blimey, because you haven't got one. I just went out to the old...
Yeah, don't bother. I'll have what you're having.
You can have what you like, mate. No expense in this house. What's your purse, darling? What started the row, anyway?
Oh, you.
Me?
Yeah, both of you. Well, Nora wondered why you weren't going to Tom and Jones tonight. I said, I expect they've turned it down. But she said she had a feeling that you hadn't been invited. I said, you know, that's a bit of an insulting thing to suggest. And she said, I'm always criticising her, and off we went.
Oh, sorry, it was because of us.
Oh, no. She was in a mood for a row tonight. You only sparked it off, that's all. Anyway, she was wrong, wasn't she? About Tom and Jones' party.
Well, how do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, you were invited, weren't you?
Well, yes.
Tell him the truth, George.
What do you mean, darling? What? Don't talk about it too much in front of Kate, you know, it still upsets her. The point is, we don't get on with Tom and Joan anymore. You know, we don't meet, you know. I mean, they don't come to our parties, we don't go to theirs.
George, it's Tom. Can we go to their party?
No.
Yes, Tom, I'll tell you.
Tell him no. You know what's happened, don't you? They've heard from Miles or Nora that we knew about the party and they're trying to save their wretched faces. Look, he didn't invite us when I rang him, did he? No. Well, we're not being asked as an afterthought. Yeah, let me talk to him, will you? Yeah, Tom? Yeah. Well, just do me one tiny favour, Tom, and save your larynx, will you? But we wouldn't come to your party tonight. It was the last one given on earth. And you had Elizabeth Taylor there. Oh, well, it's easy to say it now, isn't it? I mean, you've got no choice. You've got to say it. They sent us an invitation. Look, listen, old man. I rang you 10 minutes ago and you never mentioned it, did you? No. Yeah, I caught you on the hop, didn't it? Yeah. What? Look, the postman got as far as Peter and Nora. How was it he didn't get to us? We live next door, you know. He couldn't have been beaten back by the weather. Didn't he have the guts to admit that they hadn't sent us an invitation? No guts. Well, thank goodness we didn't get one. Cheers, old man. I'm so sorry. What am I talking about? John? Shove it off.
I'm a bit confused. I thought George said that you weren't speaking to Tom and Joan anyway.
Did he? Well, Pete, you ought to know by now George has a little trouble with the truth on these occasions.
Yeah.
We weren't asked, that's all. I must say, Tom sounded as though he thought he'd asked us.
Yes, but George rang him earlier.
Yes, Tom mentioned that. He said he nearly had a heart attack thinking he hadn't posted our invitation, but he never said anything because George had told him we were having a party. And then he checked with Joan, and she said she'd distinctly remembered. Tom and Joan Peters request the pleasure of the company of Kate and George Starling.
Oh, no, Kate, that's very easy to do. You know, first thing in the morning when you're feeling a bit dopey and you pick it up, you put it in your dressing gown. I've done it myself. Now, listen, Kate, don't tell him. Not tonight. No, not tonight. You feel terrible about it. I mean, it's bad enough him trying to pretend he doesn't mind not going to the party. Yeah, now, wait a minute. You've been careless too, haven't you? What about the night when you came back from your honeymoon and you knocked us up because George had lost the key, huh? Who had the key all the time?
Oh, don't.
Uh-huh. Well, there you are, then.
You men certainly stick together, don't you?
Oh, it's nothing to do with that. I just thought he'd be so upset he'd probably throw me out, and I can't leave two parties in one night without getting a drink.
Pour some wine to go with the food. Mr. Andrews let me chalk it up on the slate. Nice of him, wasn't it? The spirit of brotherhood's still abroad, Peter, even if Tom and Joan haven't got me. I'll never forget the way Tom tried to wriggle out of it, you know. And I told him he'd never mentioned his party when I rang him. I had him right on that hook, mate. Right on the hook. Let's have a music. Come on, let's get ourselves up. Let's really go gay at last. That's more like it now. But would you? Don't do the mending now.
Let's go gay.
It's not very hospitable, is it? Good heavens. I mean, honestly, you know, I've been trying to get the medals for a month. I've been having to have breakfast in my Mac.
Bring up friends and have them all call. Let's go gay, let's go mad, break the rules, that can't be bad. Let's make love, let's make hay. Stop the clocks and live for the day.
Cheers.
Let the moon and we'll ignore the ethical code and indulge our every
Hello?
grand event. Drink
Yes, he is. Peter Nora.
for that endless road.
Hello, darling. Yeah. Yes, of course it is, yeah. Wonderful. Splendid. Yeah. No, you were wrong about the invitation. Yes, they did get one. Only, George forgot it. It was just... what's it, darling? No, just the three of us. Yeah.
You found it too? Why didn't you beat me over the head?
And now I quits on that key.
I'm so sorry, darling.
Oh, don't mind me. You apologise to Tom.
Yes, I will. Tomorrow morning.
On the phone.
You're right. Bye, darling. Nora's on her way out. The party's the biggest flop of all time. People are walking out in droves. Oh, she's bringing Miles with her. And David and John are coming too, with their birds and bottles. I said that was all right. It is, isn't it?
Yes, Peter, yes, it's absolutely fine.